All right, well, we're back here with our friend Mike McKenna. We all know him as Mac. He's got a new book out, Casting Around the Eastern Sierra. It's a nice compliment to his book that he wrote about Idaho, Casting Around Sun Valley. Mac, how you doing, my friend?
Great, and it's wonderful to be back here in Bishop, one of my favorite towns in the country, and with you, my old buddy Bob.
Yeah, I was just going to say, those folks that have been watching this TV station for years know Mac was our play-by-play announcer for Mammoth football for several seasons, has lived in the Eastern Sierra, and has obviously many friends here. Mac, now you're in Idaho. What are you doing now?
Well, I'm still doing a lot of writing, and I just completed this book. I spend my days helping the local land trust, Wood River Land Trust, and the nights working on this book.
Excuse me, and you mentioned it was like Eastern Sierra Land Trust.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Eastern Sierra Land Trust, another great local organization, and it's sort of using my writing skills to try to help save and protect land and wildlife, habitat, recreational opportunities, all the great stuff that ESLT does down here.
All right, now how did you come up with Casting Around the Eastern Sierra? Was this percolating in your head 10 years ago when you lived here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, writing for The Sheet, writing for East Side Magazine and other various publications, an author named Jack Holder, who's with the Outdoor Writers Association of California, came up to me one day at a conference and he said, Mike, you've been writing fishing stories for so long. You probably have a book. You should look at it. And it took, I don't know how many years later, but eventually that's what this book is.
And what is Casting Around the Eastern Sierra?
It is a year-round fishing guide to primarily Mono County, although there are some Inyo County fisheries as well. And basically, it's each fishery in the region. I connect with someone who loves and knows that area best, whether it's a guide or a tackle shop owner or a resort owner. And they share sort of their favorite stories with, say, the Lower Owens River in the springtime. And then there's some basic tips on how to fish that fishery at that time of year.
It's a great-looking book. How did you put this together?
Well, this is my second book, like you said. The first one, Angling Around Sun Valley, it takes place in Idaho and covers some of Idaho's most famous fly fishing waters. That's a fly fishing only book, whereas this is a all kind of fishing book. But just, it was something that I always felt like I wanted. You know, when you're trying to get to know an area, there's no better way than to fish it. And so this sort of gives you little bits and pieces of where to go, what to do, and what makes the area so special.
You didn't give any secret spots, did you?
No, don't worry, Lake, tell anyone and we'll kill you, still safe, yeah.
What was your favorite part of the book? Any sort of pictures or any certain fishery that you enjoyed a lot?
I think my favorite part of this book is being able to share these stories, because there's over 70 locals, and it's their stories and why they love this region and why it makes they're so impassioned about it, whether it's Dave McCoy fishing Crowley Lake many years ago, or Doug Roderick's getting me into fly fishing on the Lower Owens, or some of the people in this book have passed since I interviewed them. So it's just sort of my gift to this area. I fell in love with fishing here, and I always wanted to say thanks. And so basically, this is my saying thank you to the Eastern Sierra and everyone who makes this area so wonderful.
You say over 70 different people have you talked to about this book?
Yes, sir, over 70 different people. That's why this book should be available all over the areas, because just about every tackle shop, resort, someone in that area is in the book.
Where is it going to be available?
Well, Spellbinder here in Bishop, hopefully Max as well. Bookie Joint in Mammoth Lakes has ordered a bunch of them, and then hopefully pretty much every tackle shop from Rick Sports up to Ken's up in Bridgeport and in June, you name it, they're in there. I tried to be as inclusive as I could. Of course, I missed some people, and I apologize for that, but I tried to get everybody who I know who's had a long and deep passion for this area knowledge in this book.
Well, it sounds like you might have a sequel.
Yeah, there's more in Inyo County we got to get in there.
All right, so fishing. What's your favorite fishery here in the Eastern Sierra?
Well, I love the Lower Owens from my time living here in Bishop. I also love the backcountry, even if something as close as Parker Lake or going back in chase of golden trout. What really makes the Eastern Sierra so unique to me as a place to fish is that there are a lot of those great, wonderful on-the-beaten-path places like Crowley Lake and Convict, the Mammoth Lakes Basin, to name a few. But if you just are willing to hike a little bit, there's just amazing places to go fishing. And of course, trout live in beautiful places, which is why they like to live around here.
Now, you've lived in different spots around the country. How does this compare to some of the other fisheries where you've lived?
This is the bigger secret, and it blows me away. Writing in the little resort community I do in Idaho, there's so many Southern Californians who fly up to the middle of Idaho to go fishing, and I always say to them, do you ever look out of the plane? Because you're passing some amazing fishing country. And so hopefully as I promote the book in that area too, we'll get more people to appreciate and respect it. But it's just so underrated. But this place has everything you'd want. You can great fishing every day of the year, great people that really know the area, and I've never been any place prettier than the Eastern Sierra.
Now, I noticed when we were leafing through the book a little bit earlier, just some great pictures, but you also have, what to use when you're trying to fish and, well, catch some fish.
Yes, as much as a writer, I think if this is a collection of short stories that cover 14 years, it's really a useful guidebook too. There are maps, there's lures and flies and basic tips for each season. So it's useful and hopefully entertaining.
What do you think the book, as you've done it, Angling Around the Eastern Sierra with Mike McKenna, what do you think you'll get some good feedback from this?
So far, I've been getting some great feedback, and I hope the people that I've written about, it touches them and they feel good about it. And luckily, most of them have already seen it, so hopefully there's no one's going to get angry at me for screwing something up that I haven't caught already.
All right, now we know this is 2018, so that's Mac, you guys. So we know it's 2018. Is it going to be available online, or are we just looking at local stores around the Eastern Sierra?
It will be available online. Of course, I want you to support local small businesses and all the tackle shops and resorts. So they're the first places you should go to buy the books, book your joint, like I said. You can, if you want to get it shipped out and those places can't do it, you can go to castingaroundamerica.com, and the book is available, and I can sign them and send them anywhere in the world from there.
Castingaroundamerica.com.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I got 2 states in. Let's see how big we can get. You gotta have dreams.
It's Casting Around the Eastern Sierra. Mike McKenna, great writer. I guarantee you will enjoy this book and have many great experiences with his experience and talking to people in the Eastern Sierra. Mac, thank you, my friend. Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
all right, thank you.
All
right. We'll be back with a weather report and more news.